Hi, I'm Mr. Krolek and welcome to Quantitative Reasoning Trigonometry. The purpose of this video is to give you an overview of the course and describe how we will be working together over the next few weeks while we're in distance learning mode. So let's take a look at the title of the class, Quantitative Reasoning / Trig. So most of you have heard the term trigonometry. Some of you were in my trigonometry course last year. So I feel like you're fairly familiar with that topic. Quantitative reasoning, on the other hand, is something that might be new to you. So the phrase quantitative reasoning, if you break it down, quantitative just refers to numbers. Reasoning is thinking or using logic. So it's basically the combination of those two things. It comes down to using mathematics to analyze a situation or a real-life application. The reason why we're not in school is probably a perfect example of the application of quantitative reasoning, or its use, I should say. The COVID-19 virus, the study of it, is a great example of using mathematics to analyze a situation. So here is the COVID dashboard at Johns Hopkins University. It's one of the resources that is often cited in the news. So this dashboard contains all sorts of tools that help us describe what is going on with this virus. So there are careers such as mathematical biologists, there are infectious disease mathematicians that study how disease spreads. There's a term called herd immunity, which is using mathematics to determine how many or what percent of a population would have to be eventually vaccinated so that the disease would not spread. And then in addition, there's mathematical models that are used to predict if a current trend continues, how many people could potentially be infected, how many people could succumb to the disease, etc. So if you're one of those people that are always saying, well, when am I ever going to use this? Quantitative reasoning is exactly that. How to use mathematics to analyze a particular situation. All right, now the course is divided into two parts. First semester is some of the college level mathematics that you need to understand that we use in the second part of the second semester when we get deeper into quantitative reasoning techniques. So if you look at your syllabus, first semester we cover the following topics: trigonometric functions, polar coordinates and vectors, which is probably something new, matrices, exponential and log functions, which are part of explaining how disease spreads. You hear about flattening the curve. We're talking about taking a logistic curve and flattening it. Probability and statistics. Second semester, then, we get into the quantitative reasoning part of the course, and those topics are approaches to problem solving, numbers in the real world, managing money, statistical reasoning and applying it, and then the most powerful part of mathematics is using it to model a situation. How we're going to work together during the distance learning phase. Okay, so each day you will log into your Google Classroom page. All right, on that page, go to classwork, and you'll notice that the classwork is organized by weeks. So you'll find the week that we're in and go to the day, a particular day, and that'll include all of the activities that you have to do for that particular day. The first thing that you do is do the attendance question. So each period you have, there's an attendance question to indicate that you were present for that day. So in the morning, when you log in, go to the attendance question. There isn't a right or wrong answer. Simply responding to it will indicate that you're in math class for that day. At the beginning of each week, there'll be a weekly agenda posted that just gives you a general idea of what we're going to be doing that week. It'll look something like this with an assignment description and a due date if there's an assignment or homework associated with that particular learning activity. All right, so for a particular day, there'll be instructional content. That's the lesson, basically, and that'll be delivered in the form of a video. Included with that lesson, there may be handouts, or Google Docs, Google Slides, PowerPoint presentations along those lines, links to online resources such as Desmos and GeoGebra that are used to help you understand the concepts being taught that day. Digital assignments or homework will be completed and submitted using two online platforms. One is My Math Excel, which most of you are familiar with, and then the second one is a website called myimaths.com. All right, your grade for the class is made up of 4 categories: semester exam, tests and quizzes, classwork, and homework. During the distance learning phase, all of the activities will fall under the homework category. If we are in distance learning for an extended amount of time, then we will also be administering quizzes and tests online. In terms of your homework, when homework is assigned, it'll be typically due 2 days after the day that it was presented. So if you when you look at your daily or your weekly agenda, it'll indicate when that homework is due. All right, homework submitted after the due date will receive 70% of its overall credit. So for example, if you turned in a homework after the due date and you got you got 100% on it, then you receive 70% as a late score. All right, getting help. So during while we're in distance learning, I'll be online during the 2 periods that I have quantitative reasoning. So I teach quantitative reasoning, TRIG, first hour and 4th hour. If you look at your Google Classroom page, on the top you'll see on the banner, it'll say a Meet link. So when you have a question, you simply click on that and I'll be at the other end waiting there patiently to help you. That'll occur during 1st hour and 4th hour, and then you also can ask me during the celebration time. So if you are in 1st hour, you could also log in during 4th hour. If you're in 4th hour, you could also log in during 1st hour. It doesn't matter. If you have a question, simply log on and I can help you. You can also get to me by email, and you can either call or text me using this distance learning number. Don't call my classroom because I won't get that phone call. All right. Also, if you're not familiar with Math Excel, if you're doing an assignment in Math Excel, in the upper right-hand corner of each question is a help menu. And that has several different types of help that you can get to help you understand a question a little bit further if that is the case. Materials for the class. I would suggest getting a 1-inch binder, some loose leaf paper, some graph paper, 2 dividers, and a couple of highlighters. All right, the dividers I'd label notes, and the second divider reference pages. For you that have had me in the past, you know that I organize your work using packets, and those packets are guided notes that you will fill in as I'm presenting the material to you. The other thing that we use quite a bit in the class are graphing calculators. Now, right now, I don't want you to go out and buy a graphing calculator. We're working on trying to get these installed on the Chromebooks, so you'll have a virtual graphing calculator. All right, that covers how we're going to work together. So tomorrow what you'll do is, well, today you're going to set up your Math Excel accounts, and then tomorrow we'll start our first lesson. Take care.